Tonight, America's 250 event in Mount Rushmore is just one of many celebrations for not only the president, but also countless local municipalities across the country as we head into the holiday weekend. And they are not an easy lift, okay? So joining me with a preview of what is next for the president is NewsNation White House correspondent Kelly Meyer and retired Marine Corps intelligence officer and counterterrorism expert, Hal Kempfer, on what's being done to keep everybody safe. So Hal, actually, I want to start with you on this. You look at events like this, and it's always a concern. I hate to say it, it's always a concern when you're talking about President Trump. What kind of advance work is done like an event like this? Is it as secure and intense as the wedding of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in Madison Square Garden?
Well, Jesse, I don't know if anything raises that level of security, as you can well imagine. But yes, it's a big event. It's not a national security special event, but it is certainly a big presidential event. It's because of the location. It's because, obviously, of what's going on. It's not just what's happening here. It's what's happening around the world with Iran, Hezbollah, a number of threat groups around the world. So we're looking at that. The big difference this year, and I think this is the big difference over the last 2 years, is we're looking at drone threats in an entirely different way. We've seen drones everywhere. Obviously, Mount Rushmore, potential venue for something like that. So you're going to see a lot of focus on that. You're certainly seeing that at every other venue all over the country.
Will you tell us, by the way, how you counter a drone threat? And let's keep the shot up because your tie looks so good. I got to fix mine to match it. All right. So how do you counter a drone threat like that?
Well, there's a variety of different things. One of the challenges is if you have a crowd situation, and I do a lot of crowd management training for security purposes. One of the challenges is if you bring down a drone, if you intercept a drone over a crowd, that drone's going to fall and it's going to do something. So that's one of the big challenges. You can kinetically intercept it, interceptor drones. You can do things to intercept the signal, but it is a challenge. And it's a particular challenge in a homeland security setting.
100%. Hey, Kelly, so the president is actually going to be speaking quite a lot this weekend. It's not only the speech tonight, he has a speech planned for tomorrow as well. What can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, hey there, Jesse. So President Trump left the White House a short time ago, making his way to South Dakota. So leaving the heat wave here in D.C. for the Black Hills of South Dakota, a little cooler there. But he'll head back here late tonight, really, and then he has a big day tomorrow. He is teasing this as the most spectacular Trump rally ahead of what he's calling the largest fireworks show in history. They're looking to break the world record for fireworks show that was set 10 years ago by a mega church in the Philippines. So they're trying to do that here in Washington tomorrow. But the president is gearing up for that speech. He says he plans to give it no matter the temperature. He said the other day he would do it in 107 heat. It had a heat index that felt like 114 here today. We're expecting much of the same tomorrow. So we'll see if it pans out that way. But right now, it's all plans a go for his speech tomorrow night that we'll touch on, as we've heard from him, through this process, through these celebrations, even just last week here, kicking off the 250, the Great American State Fair. He spoke a lot about American history. He weaved in some of the administration policies as well as his accomplishments as he sees them. And then he also talked about the future. And this also comes, I will say, 4 months to the day out from the midterm. So that may play into some things as well.
By the way, Kelly, I'm not crazy. Tonight, he's probably going to say something about wanting to be on Mount Rushmore, right? If you had to take a bet, right? I'm not crazy?
Yeah. No, you're not crazy. Okay. I think you're spot on with that. I think that's something that he has said in the past, and it's likely he'll say it again tonight. We'll see if it's something that he'll make happen. If that's an announcement.
Well, that would be an announcement. Hal, content-wise, I'm interested. I wanted to ask you this about the president's speech. Do you think and do you want him to touch on anything about national security, about our international relations? Because that is a key focus on the mind of a lot of Americans. Kelly just talked about midterms. That's going to be something that's going to be on people's minds. What would you want to hear from him today if he talks about that?
I think he's going to allude to it. I think he's going to talk about, certainly what our service members have done around the world. I would be surprised if he didn't mention that. I mean, this is a day of patriotism. So I think he'll say that. I would hope he doesn't get too much into the details. I mean, there's no reason. This is not an appropriate setting to talk about the negotiations with the MOU or something like that. So I think you're going to hear a lot of patriotism. You're going to hear about assertiveness of American power. Basically, a very patriotic sort of message.
Kelly, I understand the president signed a proclamation for America's 250th.
Yep.
What is that?
Yeah, so he signed that here at the White House today. It basically declares July 4th, 2026 as the 250th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence. And what it says in there is basically urging all Americans to proudly observe this day and honor it. So we're just really reminding Americans what this day is, as many are out there celebrating this weekend with cookouts, with family, at the pool, reminding them what this day means, what this 250th birthday means to them.
Do you know what's encouraging? And I've seen it a lot on all of our coverage this whole day. How excited people are. You know, it's sometimes there's always questions about, do we still have a sense of patriotism? Do people still care about being an American? To see the excitement in all these different locations, particularly where Brian Enton went, and we're going to have him later on the show, it's a really good thing to see. So let's leave it there. Kelly Meyer, Hal Kempfer, thank you both so much for coming on. Have a great weekend. Happy July 4th.
Happy July 4th, Jesse.
You got it.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.